All right, Nathan, what are we doing?
All right, it is everything else day.
Everything else
We've
today.
decided to bail on doing days, and we're just going to go for it because there's like lots of mismatched jobs to do today. So we've got a fuel tank back, and look, to be honest, making 2 fuel lines isn't a whole episode for you guys to watch. So we're going to do a bunch of other stuff. We might as well. So what we're going to do today is test the microphone. Testing 1 2 3. Is it working, Michael?
It's working. Thank God it's working.
So, got our petrol tank. They smashed it out for us. Michael's going to talk about that because I got no idea. But we are doing a tank sealer kit for it. So this effectively cleans the rust and all the crud inside the tank, and then it puts a sealer, which is basically, let's just say, painting the inside of the tank.
Yeah.
And it stops it from rusting. So we've got to do that as well. We've got to run fuel lines, run the fuel filter. Yeah, so there's a little bit of mucking around, but we'll see how we go today, because who knows how long this is going to take to clean and that.
Yeah, we'll
but we
see.
can still run our fuel lines. So, let's get into it.
Alright, so fuel tank, what do we end up doing? A bunch of you guys commented in the last episode to check out United Speed Shop's fuel tank, which freaking looks amazing. It does look unreal. But it's a little bit out of the budget. So I went a little bit of a cheaper option, and we already had this sorted basically. The day after filming last week's episode, I basically got in contact with CAE and basically told them what we needed and what we were trying to do, and they said, yeah, we can sort you out, no dramas. I have to give these guys a massive thank you, because I basically rocked up on Tuesday after a long weekend and said, is there any chance that you can install a pump for me? And I could have it back by Friday, maybe? Credit to them, they actually did smash it out for us, and they got it back to us. Thanks guys, I really appreciate the help, because it keeps us on track and getting this done. Otherwise, this would have been drawn out as it always happens with this HQ, that it gets drawn out. A quick job gets drawn out. Anyway, what do we end up doing? CAE actually have a kit that actually works with a HQ tank, the one that we have here. So what they basically do is they weld a ring in here, and they have a swirl pot and pump, this one here, which will actually fit in here and fits in nice and tight and fairly low as well too, so that we don't have to have like a massive box or anything like that, like we did on the LSQ. We are probably still going to have to cut a hole in the bottom of the HQ boot now, so just so you can access it. We could get away with not doing it, to be honest. By the looks of it, it's only going to sit maybe 20 mil at the very most higher than the rest of the tank, so we could probably drop the tank slightly and you would probably not even know. But the only issue with doing that is if something goes wrong with the pump or we have an issue, you're gonna have to drop the whole tank to service the pump, which is not really ideal, and with our luck, something might go wrong. And then we have to pull the whole tank out full of fuel. And
We don't mind having like a little bit of fuel down the arm, but having a fuel shower?
a fuel shower?
That's
No one wants a fuel shower. But this is very similar to like the VE fuel pump kits that you get. It has a built-in regulator, has a built-in swirl pot. This also has an arm that you can attach a fuel sender to, so you can get like your fuel tank height. What do you call it? How much fuel you have in your tank? Why have I gone blank? Fuel level. So you can get your fuel level, and you can basically run it over this rather than using the existing fuel sender. I'm probably not going to do that. Only because the fuel sender in this already works. It's already matched to the gauge in the HQ already, so it will all work. This could be set up as a returnless system because it has the regulator already in here. So basically you could just run this straight to a fuel system, but because the Holley EFI needs fuel going in and fuel coming out, we need a return. So I said what I'll do is I'll make the original pickup my return. So we got to pull this out and pull the sock off it, and that will then become the return. So it should work pretty easy. So yeah, I guess now we'll try and figure out how we seal the tank. Weld it, whatever they do. Oh, it's an O-ring, that's good. Ugh.
Oh, that's crusty.
Yeah, and ripped at the bottom. This thing needs to come off, the sock. Okay, so the sock's not coming off.
Oh, there we go.
No, just...
Why did you smell? What did you think it was gonna? What did you think it smelled like? Barbecue? what were you expecting there?
I honestly don't know.
Almost punched yourself in the face there.
Is there anything in it? Actually, you could probably just chuck it. We're really bad for you. You should probably wear a mask. So this will be Nathan for the next hour. This looks good. That tape sticks really well.
Bloody Aldi, mate. The Germans.
It's Germans. So now we need to dry out the inside of the tank, and it recommends that you use a heat gun. We don't have a heat gun. Ours went missing. So we're just going to use a heater.
Oh, that sounds like it's working.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I can smell it coming out.
This will be done in no time, or it's going to go bang. One of the two. We'll see
Yeah.
what happens.
So we'll leave this for 5-10 minutes. So we started this at 10. It's now 12:30, and this is the end result. It come up bloody mint.
Looks brand new. I feel like a dentist at the minute.
So we're just checking to see that it's completely dry, because otherwise the paint won't adhere, obviously.
Say
And it's about to start raining, so we should probably get some paint in this thing.
Yep. Alright, well, we've sloshed it around as much as we can to try and spread it out. There's still a little bit left in there. You're supposed to try and get all the stuff out so it doesn't pool, but because of the way all these exits are, it's really hard to get any sort of liquid out of there, let alone sticky paint. So we've just tried to spread it out as evenly as possible. You can see we've also painted a little bit of the outside of the tank as well, which is a nice feature, but that doesn't matter. We're never going to see any of that. Alright, let that dry for like 96 hours or whatever it's supposed to be.
Yeah, 96 hours.
Okay. So, what we're doing for fuel lines, let's talk from the pump forward. How about that? So, from the pump, we're going to run just like a straight hose with barb and hose clamp
Yep.
to the filter, which is a barbed as well. And then we will switch it over to the steel braid line to run it to the carby. And then we will run the steel braid line all the way back from the carby, all the way back to the tank, and then down that to a hose to go back to the return. So what we can do is we can run this from, because we know where our tank is and where we're going to mount our filter. So we can run this from the back of the carby down to the filter and down to the tank. And then we can mount it to this, and then we just can't run our hose until the tank is ready to go. So that's what we can do.
Perfecto.
It's not effective, look.
Okay, we're tired. That's looking pretty. Alright, so we have our massively overkill fuel lines for a 253. Now what we're thinking of doing is we're going to run this one, which is our 2, up to there, and we'll P-clip it to the firewall there, and then it'll dive down there where it can join in with the return, join his old mate there, and it'll look pretty neat. Way neater than the rest of the car. Oh, now it's jammed in there again. I should have used the other ones. You're never going to see any of this anyway, because the air filter's going to be annoying.
Yep.
Oh no, it's there.
Now everyone else would too, because when you're going to start your car, you're going to be like, and everyone's going to be like,
That was good.
yeah.
Enough play for it to rock around, because you know it's a heavily worked motor, so it's going to not really. They're looking good.
Cool.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to mount the coil.
Oh yeah, we're going to try and mount the coil. So what we're thinking.
Oh, I've figured it out, but I've just got to drill it at some holes, and your fuel line is right where I want it for my coil.
Well, see, I've done my fuel line already, so...
So there's not many places to mount the coil. there's no room on the intake manifold to mount it, so we've decided to use the factory hole where the linkage set up to the old carburetor was.
You'll barely see it already.
You won't even see it. Yeah.
That's our answer for everything. It looks shit. You won't even see it.
Go on.
I'm not saying anything. It looks good. Thanks. Looks way better than the crappy old zinc coating you had on it, doesn't it?
Yeah, I hate it when the zinc coating goes all like funky.
Zinc looks really good.
And you can't clean it up either.
Yeah.
Because the minute you wire wheel it, you get rid of all the zinc coating.
Yeah.
And then it just rusts. I got nowhere to hang this. Oh, yeah.
Guarantee you we lose that now.
Yeah, probably gonna be like, where the frick's that bracket?
I just had it! Let's put the distributor cap on it. You can also wear it as a hat.
As a hat.
Make sure you got one in the right spot.
I should, hopefully. I know, we don't know our firing order now because our intake manifold doesn't have it.
I'll just carry the old intake manifold in the boot.
Or, you know, you just use modern technology and take a photo.
That's true. That would probably work just as well. So, we've talked about how this sits pretty high. And it kind of looks a bit odd being so high. There is a spacer in here that I put in when I had the 350 Holley in it because I needed the spacer to clear that. I'm going to cut the silicone out of here. I'll pull that out and I'll see what it looks like and see if we can get it to work, okay?
Yep. I'll paint the thing again.
You're going to go paint. Oh no. Still good as new. We can reuse that or something. Hope it fits, otherwise I'm going to glue that back in.
Yeah, perfect.
Nice.
That's a bit better.
That just clears perfectly.
That's a bit better. Ah, that's better.
That looks heaps better, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Doesn't look anywhere near as high. Actually, if you come around here now, if you look into there, it doesn't look too bad. Like it sort of just, all the black just blends in, doesn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't really look like it's got it.
If you were walking past it now, you'd never even guess that there's a sniper on it there, would you?
Yeah.
The other thing we can do now is actually get rid of the choke, pull that through. So maybe I'll do that while you're painting the bracket, eh?
I've been painting this bracket for an hour. No, I might actually mount it if it's dry enough.
A glorious moment when the choke gets pulled out, eh?
Oh, that was easy.
Yeah. Bye bye. Nice work, man. I don't have the socket. So you don't even notice. Alright, it's the next day. We've let the tank dry and it looks pretty good. It's turned out really well.
Well, hang on. This is our third day. So we've said 3 days you could do this. And I reckon if we had the tank painted already and the pump already done, we could have had this done.
Yeah, we were talking about maybe whether you could do this in 3 days, and I reckon generally if you had everything ready and you weren't filming and you had everything and you spent whole days, 'cause we haven't been doing whole days, we've been doing little bits here and there, you could get this whole conversion done in 3 days by the looks of it. Which is pretty impressive when you think you go from carby to EFI, goodness. And if you had people that actually knew what they were doing, unlike us, probably do it in a day.
Yeah.
Really.
But anyway, that's
So our tank is sat overnight and you can see it turned out pretty good. Get a close up in there.
Don't get the pulls.
You can see it did pull around there and there, which is probably the worst spot it could pull because it was right by there.
But it was impossible to get it out.
Yeah. The reason why it pulled is because you're supposed to get all the excess out when you pour it all in. And we just couldn't get it out. This HQ tank is really hard to get even fuel out and that because there's lips on all these. That was just too hard to get because it's kind of oily and it's hard to get it to move around, come out. We thought we did okay, but obviously we hasn't. So we've probably lost, it's now, what are these, 70 litre tanks? Let's say a 7 litre tank. Now it's probably a 69.5 litre tank. So we lost a little bit of capacity, but that's okay. I don't think we're going to notice too bad. So what we're going to do now is we're going to give this a quick paint over the top because we've got bare metal here. We don't want that to rust. We're going to give it a really quick squirt and basically start planning to chuck it in. He's a happy boy. I thought you were ordering food.
Does this tape stay there?
I would assume and I don't know.
Oh, no, that comes off. That's for the sender.
Yeah, it's probably for the sender. Not that we're using it, but... Oh,
That's why it was taped there.
something just fell off.
Yeah, I know. It's just the it's the contacts for the sender.
Oh yeah. We're not going to use that. You can use that, they said. CIE does sell like a little unit that it would convert it to work with a HQ dash, or any dash for that matter, but we're not going to use that. We're just going to use the original sender because it's already there.
Sender.
And that other unit's like $300.
Cool.
It's pretty slimline, like it's
Yeah,
probably
very
20 mil that we'd have to drop it.
I reckon we just sit it up, see what happens.
Alright, so what we're going to do is, we need to know where we're going to cut this hole in the floor of my beautiful car. So what we're going to do is, we have some bolts sitting in the top of the ring here. We're going to put some grease on them and lift the car up, lift it up into the car, and hopefully find out
Hopefully.
where this hole has to go.
Yeah. And then we just go.
Go what? This is looking professional now. Got ourselves some conduit. Ready?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Alright, I think you guys have seen this go in and out a million times now. Let's just chuck it in there.
Yeah.
Alright, so it's in. The hole's a little bit bigger than we were sort of hoping it would be, and unfortunately it's pretty close to these ribs here. So what we'll have to do by the looks of it, we're thinking about dropping the tank down 20 mil to give us a bit of room, so then we can just do a flat plate over the top of this. The trouble with doing that is if we drop it down 20 mil or so, that's going to get pretty close to the bumper by the looks of it. So not too keen on doing that. So I think what we'll do is we'll just make a bit of a dog box that sort of sits a little bit higher and covers this in. It won't matter anyway because this is carpeted, you never see any of this anyway. And I've got like half-inch thick insulation anyway, so if I just cut the insulation around that area there, the carpet will probably end up flush. We've lipped it here just so that this fuel pressure line here, or the 2 line, isn't going to rub up against anything sharp, because that follows inside the rib of the tank, so it does move and it's not jammed in there by the looks of it. So now it's time to basically hook it all up, get the fittings in place, and yeah, go from there I suppose. Alright, so you might notice that from this end we have dash 6 steel line, and from this end we have rubber hose. The reason why is because the filter that I was going to run, which is this little tiny little Raceworks one here, it's really tiny, it's washable, you can actually take the element out and clean it. I think this is the 30 or 40 micron option, could even be 10, I don't remember. It's one of those. It's nice and tiny, it gets out of the way, but it only comes with the barbed fittings. And the fuel tank is also barb fitting as well too. So what we're doing is we're running hose line, which we can put onto barbs, into this, and out from the other side. Then we use these little contraption here that kind of looks like a vape, for all you Subaru guys. And that goes onto there, which will then connect onto there. So now we're just going to find somewhere to put this. It's pretty tight up there, so it's going to be hard to show you guys where we're going to put it, but it looks like we're going to put it up into the wheel well at the very top there by the diff. Alrighty.
Alrighty. Oh, back.
What do we got?
Alright, so fuel system is all plumbed up. You're not going to be able to see anything. We ran the filter against the tunnel, the tunnel for the diff, just up, right, basically straight out of the tank. And then yeah, we just ran the lines, we P-clipped them up across the floor there, and then we've gone down through some holes and then just followed the brake line all the way forward.
Yeah. It's really nothing fancy.
It's not fancy at all. It's a fuel system.
Yeah.
There's no nice bent lines here, it's just hose. So
yeah.
It actually looks alright where it goes from rubber hose to the stainless braid.
Yeah, that actually turned out really well.
The steel braid. So it actually turned out, yeah, really well.
The rest of it we'll just kind of ignore.
Yeah, the rest of it we'll ignore. But that's it. The wiring, there's a few little minor things that we've got to finish up, but next will definitely be the wiring and first fire up.
Yep. Hopefully, well, at least maybe first fire up. We'll see how we go.
Maybe we'll see.
Yeah. If it doesn't leak like a sieve.
It's not gonna leak. So that's about it for today. We're done for the weekend working on this car. So hopefully next weekend when we get back on it, it should be pretty close to finishing. But as you can see, we use quite a bit of fittings and stuff. Even just a simple fuel system like this, the Fairlanes and our other cars have a lot more complex systems. Click the link in the description below and head over to T.I.performances fluid system builder, and you can basically map out your whole system and have all the correct hoses, and it says what hose you're using and then what fitting, and you can lay it all out on his builder from the pump right to the engine, and it helps you out a shit ton to lay a system out like this.
Yeah, because you can see, just like we said, with such a simple system just like this, look how many boxes we have just from that.
It doesn't end just at some hose ends. It's not just that, you know, it's everything else involved. And push clip fittings too. So please head over to that and have a look. We use them for all our Raceworks fittings to buy through and to do all our fuel systems, even our turbo line.
Yeah, it's a really good bit of kit. It really helps us.
Yeah. And if you want to buy some merch, head over to our website. We're getting shirts soon.
They're coming, hopefully.
They're coming, hopefully. So we'll let you know when the pre-order is on the store. But if you're keen on a shirt, they're going to be there soon. But we have stickers and hoodies as well. So head over to there and suss it out. But other than that, we'll see you in the next one.
There's something satisfying about when
They clip on?
they clip on, that you get that like
It's just, you know, it's got a good connection. And
when you hear.
yeah.
CAE actually asked, do they want us to paint it for him? I said, no. Nathan, I can't take that away from Nathan. If it came back painted, he'll be very disappointed because he won't get to paint it himself. So I said, just leave it. We'll do it. The boy needs to paint. Woo! Sticker. This is probably the last sticker that's going to go on the door. Look at all the grass and spider webs.
That's a good quality sticker.
I knew you were going to say that.
I mean, I don't know stickers or anything, but I just feel like if you don't tape it, it just goes.
It goes like what? Is it so tight in there?
Yeah, but anyway, we ran the little filter against the back part of the floor.
Say that again without showing the light there. You got a twist, you can't get out, haven't you?
Yeah, so I'm going to refeed it.
A little twist, twisties.
I was pretty straight without twisties.
Maybe that should be today's word.
Twisties.
Twisties.
Alright, today's word is twisties. And whoever comments twisties, out of the people that commented twisties, randomly select 2 people and we'll send out a sticker pack.
Yeah.
Alright, done.
Sounds
2
like
of you will get a sticker pack if you say twisties.
Yeah,
in the
that's
comments.
today's word. Because apparently now we're doing words.
We're doing word of the days now, apparently.
Balloons, microphones. Now we've got twisties.
Now we got twisties.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it was more. Wasn't it? Or was it her?
I thought it was her.
Her. I thought it was.
Oh god.